Hi, my name's Chris Smith. I'm Product Development Manager for Australian Monitor. Today I'll be taking you through the Revolution series of DSP processors and the AMD mixer amps and power amps. What we have here is the Zone Revolution processor, which is a 1RU DSP processor designed for the bar and club market. It also comes with a range of peripherals such as wall panels, paging microphones, and also an iPad app which is downloadable, as well as an onboard end-user GUI, so it has the complete platform to go straight into your bar or club installation. What the Zone Revolution features is 4 stereo inputs and 4 mic line inputs, all of these available to 3 stereo zone outputs. You also have 2 paging mic inputs, which are the Icon 3 paging microphones, that are again available to all outputs. The microphones feature zone selection with LED indication from the front panel, and I can also set up priority between my 2 paging microphones, as well as multiple levels of priority between background sources, paging microphones, etc. throughout the system. Just to show you what we have with the Zone Revolution, this is the software suite, which basically boots up into an end-user GUI. This end-user GUI per zone will give you source selection, the ability for preset recall, BGM level, mic line mixing, and master output. Everything beyond this point I can password protect, so I can give my end user a software GUI, and I can also tailor the range of all these faders so my end user can't get into too much trouble with running things too loud or too soft. If I go into the Advanced tab, here's where I can set up my fader ranges for that front panel screen. I can also set up priorities here. I can set up stereo input 4 to have priority over the other stereo inputs, so for jukebox priority. I can set up my mic lines here to duck my BGM sources, and I can also set my paging microphones to duck the entire mix, and I can set that up individually per zone. If I go into my audio setup page, you'll see my processing blocks here for my Zone Rev DSP. The Zone Rev and the AV Rev are both a fixed architecture system. Basically, we've put in what most people will need to use in just about any installation, and this means you'll never run out of DSP. Everything's there. It's up to you to use it or not use it if you want. As you can see, this overview screen also gives me metering on inputs and outputs, so I can see where I've got signal coming in and going out. Just to run you quickly through the processing, I have mic line inputs available for my Phoenix mic line ins with analog gain and digital trim. I also have 48 volt phantom power available. I can also name all my inputs from here. I've got input equalization, which features high and low pass, high shelf, low shelf, and 2 bands of parametric with a graphical representation. Also, from here on through my my processing blocks, I can save presets. So if I'm using a certain type of microphone or a certain type of ceiling speaker, I can save those presets and just pull them into my designs. I also have input dynamics control, which comprises a noise gate and a compressor or AGC. Again, I can save presets for these, and I have a graphical representation of what's happening. Okay, all inputs are available to all outputs, so I'm basically have everything available to each output zone. With the Zone Rev, my first 2 outputs are a stereo out with a separate mono feed as well, so I can do left, right, and subs, left, right, ceiling speakers, whatever it's going to be. As you can see, the EQ is fairly comprehensive. I can set up for a crossover network. I've got high, low, and shelf per channel, and then 4 bands of parametric. I can also stereo link these output processors. Output limiting and output delay if I need it, which I can set up in metric or imperial, and then digital trim before I hit the analog domain. The same thing is mirrored across all my inputs, so as you can see, it's fairly comprehensive EQ control. Now, I can also run a number of Icon CP control panels off this system, which I can set up to do a number of different things. I've got a couple set up here on my demo, which is basically doing BGM selection and zone volume up down. And I can tailor these buttons to do whatever I want throughout the system. I've got a second panel here which is set up to recall presets. There are 8 global presets available on the Revolution processors, and as you see I can flick between presets and it's a fairly quick recall on those. As mentioned, we have a software GUI available. We also have an iPad app available for both Revolution products, which is a free download.